Lines with Michelle Rafferty. Morning, Michelle.
Morning, Bev, and good morning everyone at home. At least 27 people are dead in what's been described as a mass terrorist attack in southwest China. A group of knife-wielding attackers stormed a train station in the city of Kunming and started indiscriminately stabbing people in the crowd. Police are reported to have shot several people dead and suspects at the scene. There are reports at least 2 of the attackers were women. 109 people have been taken to hospital. There's no word yet on who's responsible or what the motive was for the attack. The Pakistani Taliban have announced a month-long ceasefire aimed at reviving stalled peace talks with the government. Pakistan's government has welcomed the announcement, saying it's prepared to resume the talks. Negotiations broke down last month after Taliban-linked militants said they had killed 23 soldiers they were holding. This triggered airstrikes on suspected militant hideouts by the Pakistani military. The announcement follows a bomb attack on a polio vaccination team in which 12 people died. It's yet to be announced who'll lead the inquiry into the handling of Victoria's Morwell coal mine fire in the state's east. It comes in the wake of growing community anger about pollution from the blaze. The fire has been burning for 3 weeks, and while many locals have chosen to relocate with the help of the government assistance, some simply don't have the means to do so. And the Deputy Premier has been on the receiving end of the deep frustration.
We go out there and we look after the members of the public and you politicians, and what do you do for us? Nothing. They're not telling the truth.
We're all entitled to walk down the street.
What we're really worried about is the carcinogens that are in this smoke.
Police say they'll prepare a report for the coroner after a man drowned in Adelaide's Torrens River. The man waded into the water near the city's centre to retrieve a remote-controlled boat. Moments later, he disappeared. His body was found several hundred metres downstream near the Torrens Weir. Witnesses say he got into difficulty while trying to swim to shore.
His boat capsized, and so he went for a swim to get her, and on the way back in, his head was bobbing up and down, and then he just disappeared.
And then he's pushing it to the bank, and he got the reeds, and then we just didn't see him bobbing his head up anymore.
We tried to get in to get him, but we couldn't see him at all, man. We kept yelling out for
yelling,
him.
whistling, everything, and yeah.
On the banks, I think it's like a soot and mud, you know, and I think he might have got stuck in there, and then he couldn't push himself out.
Police say new liquor laws in Sydney worked well during the Mardi Gras celebrations. Tens of thousands of revellers, many clad in glamorous costumes, danced along Oxford Street last night for the annual parade. The new laws require lockouts at venues at 1:30 a.m. and last drinks at 3 in the CBD and Kings Cross precincts. Police say most venues complied and the city settled considerably after 1:30.
Overall, I'm quite pleased. I think we've had a good night in the city. If I speak firstly in relation to the Mardi Gras event, we had very, very large numbers come into the city. I don't think the weather deterred anybody. We certainly had bumper crowds. It was a very festive mood. We had police on the ground, over 700 police specifically for that event. They focused very heavily on enforcing the alcohol-free zones. I think that paid off. We had a very high level of compliance from people attending the parade. They moved in, they enjoyed it, and they moved out. We only made 16 arrests in respect of the parade, but 7 of those were cannabis cautions relating to our drug dog operation. We did have some incidents we responded to, we did have some assaults, etc., but we would expect that there will be a component of that in a city this size and an event of that nature.
A 78-year-old American man is back from the dead. Walter Williams had been pronounced dead last Wednesday after a coroner arrived at his home and found no pulse. Walter was then taken to a funeral home where he started breathing and quite understandably kicking from inside the body bag.
Ready to transport him to the embalming table in the embalming room. We noticed that he was moving, had, activities.
I said, oh my God, he's back. He wasn't leaving me.
He stopped breathing. The coroner announced him dead.
We had made peace, peace with the fact that we know he would, he's going to go one day. So we had accepted that because we are a Christian believing family.
And I am happy to report that Walter is doing fine. He's in a stable condition in hospital and resting comfortably. And now to sport with Sasha Mirzabegian.